No, don't get up, man. You ain't gotta get up. You ain't gotta get up. You ain't gotta get up.
Sleep is now going to be completely ruined, not only by the bed bugs and ticks.
As the Blues Brothers would say.
Oh, yeah. You know?
I was noticing it.
Is there anyone here? Did you ride on the train?
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. In 2023, a video uploaded to TikTok by a creator best known for lighthearted posts featuring his grandmother took an unexpectedly dark turn. The footage, recorded at a remote job site near a wooded area, quickly went viral, not for its humor, but for what it inadvertently revealed. While working near the forest, the creator reported hearing disturbing, high-pitched screams echoing from somewhere deep within the trees. Compelled to investigate, he began recording and made his way toward the noise. What he encountered was far more unsettling than he anticipated.
What's up, bro? You good? You good, bro? Hey, no, don't get up, man. You ain't gotta get up. You ain't gotta get up. You ain't gotta get up.
What's the problem?
Nothing, man. I'm just working right here. I was coming to take a piss, bro.
We're neighbors, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're good,
Okay,
bro.
I gotta treat you like my neighbor.
Yeah, you're good, bro. I just was coming to
My
take a
name's
piss.
Eugene Odell.
Adam, man. Adam K.O. Nice to
Okay,
meet you.
good.
Can't shake hands?
Yeah, I love to shake hands
Okay.
with people I know.
Well, I just introduced myself, bro.
Yeah.
You're good, bro. You can chill out here, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Bible tells us to really care about the word of the Lord.
Yeah.
And I can't judge you,
Yeah,
right?
please don't. I wouldn't dare judge you. Hell.
No, you don't have to ask me, please. That's a statement with me. I don't judge people.
Right.
You see, that's where we're different. We're okay, I'll tell you what. I'm 48 years old, and I'm sure I've been around longer than you,
Okay.
but I know you got work to do.
I do. I got to go back over there, but you're good.
Yeah.
As long as I know you're here, you're
Yeah,
good,
they
bro.
don't have no bathroom over there for you?
Hell no, bro.
Oh, man.
As he moved through the forest, the camera captured thick underbrush and dense tree cover. In the distance, barely visible through the foliage, were 2 tents, just out of plain sight, as if intentionally hidden. Approaching the tents, the creator encountered a man standing watch nearby. Although their conversation wasn't confrontational at first, the man quickly shifted from cordial to defensive. His presence there seemed almost territorial, and he made it clear he didn't want anyone near the camp, especially someone filming. Though no physical conflict occurred, the tension was unmistakable. The man, who claimed to be living there, appeared too well-groomed to match the expected condition of someone surviving long-term in the woods. His agitation escalated rapidly, as if he had been preparing for an intrusion, or perhaps hiding something. One particular element of the video caught viewers' attention: the second tent. While the confrontation occurred near one shelter, the other was never addressed. It stood in the background, sealed and silent. Given the context, the earlier screams and the man's increasingly hostile behavior, the unspoken presence of that second tent became the focus of intense speculation. Viewers online questioned what, or who, might have been inside. Many have speculated that the second tent was simply extra storage or a backup shelter, but others believe the creator may have stumbled upon something far more sinister, potentially involving another person hidden from view, perhaps unwillingly. The strange behavior of the man, combined with the unexplained screams, leaves room for darker interpretations. No follow-up investigation has ever been confirmed, and the video remains one of TikTok's more mysterious uploads. But the unanswered questions still linger. Who was in the second tent, if anyone? What was the source of the screams? And why did the man react with such immediate defensiveness? Until more evidence surfaces, this moment will remain frozen in speculation. An eerie encounter captured in passing, with secrets left behind in the woods. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Dan, a solo traveler living out of his van, had recently returned to the road after a long recovery from shoulder surgery and making significant improvements to his vehicle. His initial excitement about restarting the van life journey was unmistakable. With his hometown in Iowa behind him, Dan set out westward. The first leg of the trip involved wrapping up some final chores, flushing the bleach from his water tank, filling it with fresh water, refueling the van, and capturing a few last shots of the Mississippi River, which had recently risen to threatening levels, putting local businesses at risk of flooding. The journey held promise, but also challenges. Traveling after a long break proved to be overwhelming and expensive. His dog, Cassie, seemed especially uneasy on the road, prompting an early stop for both of them to decompress. They pulled into a Walmart for a much-needed oil change. The shop had doors just tall enough to accommodate Dan's high-roof transit van, fitted with solar panels. But the wait time stretched to 2 hours. During that break, they visited a nearby pet store where Cassie received a treat, a small moment of comfort on an otherwise stressful day.
Getting the oil changed, got a bite to eat for me, and we went to the Petco. Got her a doggy treat while we were there. I did find one drawer unlocked that I left locked in the van, and there was some boot prints in the back of the van, like the guys were messing around inside the van. Kind of weird. There's no reason to come back in the living space for any reason at all doing an oil change. I don't see anything missing, and I don't care. They're probably just checking it out. I do have the dash cam plugged in. It looks like maybe it was recording the whole time, so hopefully I can get that footage and put it in right now. There might be some really funny responses about the racing sim being in the passenger seat, but I'm gonna eat this burrito and then we're gonna hit the road. It's always fun eating at Mexican restaurants as I travel. Mexican food can vary so much from restaurant to restaurant and especially state to state. I was trying to wait to get some Santiago's in Sterling, Colorado, but I caved when I saw this place near the Petco. Eating this mid-Iowa burrito not only has me more excited for Colorado for the burrito, but also has me thinking about camping in the mountains and how much I can't wait to have a good view. But first I need to get some more gas. This is the second fuel up of the trip, and after that we're in it for the long haul with a full belly, full tank of gas, fresh oil, and a happy dog. 61.81, so we're about $100 so far. We're not even out of Iowa. Goddamn.
After returning to the van, Dan noticed something wasn't right. A drawer he clearly remembered locking had been left open. In the back, boot prints were visible, signs that someone had entered the vehicle during the oil change. Although nothing seemed missing, the intrusion was unsettling. He hoped his dashcam had recorded something, but chose not to dwell on it. He continued driving and eventually stopped for food, giving in to a local restaurant rather than waiting until Colorado. With a full stomach, fresh oil, and a loaded tank, he resumed the drive west, aiming to make it across the state line by nightfall. But the hours behind the wheel took their toll. As the sun dropped, Dan decided to pull over for the night at a remote camping spot he found through a travel app. The area appeared quiet, secluded, and ideal for a night's rest. Or so it seemed.
When I looked closer, I found another tick on me, and another, and I pulled about 5 off of me before it hit me. How many are on Cassie? So as I was looking Cassie over for more ticks, I realized that the french fries were still in the oven and I absolutely fried them. So it was just really seeming like one of those days. So Cassie gets a waterless bath, just spraying her over with the anti-tick and flea spray that I have, and then I get a nice sink shower, and for some reason I didn't use my brand new water heater. It was just all a little too much to take in, so I took a cold shower, and that really was a nice humbling moment.
Soon after setting up, he discovered ticks on his body. Not one or two, but several. A more thorough check revealed that Cassie was also covered in them. The peaceful stop quickly became chaotic. He sprayed his dog with anti-tick solution and took a cold makeshift shower at the van's sink, too overwhelmed to even use the newly installed water heater. As night fell and Dan attempted to sleep, things took another dark turn.
What's going on, bud?
So I just woke up to the noise of something rutting around outside the van. I don't know if it was somebody fucking with the back door handle or if it was just somebody bumping against the van. But we are parked somewhere that there should be no one near the van. And then I heard a loud belch. I got up and grabbed my safety device, and I haven't heard anything since. And that's when I realized somebody's trying to break into the van. I can hear somebody tugging on the door handle, and I am out in the middle of nowhere. And by this point in the day, I'm just irritated that my night's sleep is now going to be completely ruined, not only by the bed bugs and ticks, but by some Jimmy trying to break into the van. Normal person probably would have got up and drove to a new parking spot at that time, but I just truly had not one fuck left to give. So we tried to go back to sleep. I cannot sleep. Cassie's being antsy. I swear to God, there's bugs in the bed. I feel like they're everywhere. It's crazy. The dog's gonna act like she needs to go outside to go to the bathroom, but we can't go out there because there's fucking ticks everywhere.
Around midnight, he was jolted awake by strange noises. Not wildlife, but something, or someone, moving around outside the van. Then came a thud against the vehicle. Moments later, he felt pressure on the rear doors, like someone testing the handle, trying to gain entry. Alone, isolated, and still covered in bug bites, Dan froze. There was no one around for miles, no backup, and no time to act. The sounds outside intensified briefly, followed by what seemed like a guttural voice or belch. Then silence. He decided not to flee. Packing up in the dark would have required stepping outside, possibly exposing himself to whoever was nearby. Instead, he waited in silence, hoping the situation would pass. But sleep never came. The fear of a break-in, paired with the persistent itch of insect bites, kept him on edge. Cassie remained restless too, likely sensing the tension. It was a long night filled with discomfort, unease, and mounting anxiety. By morning, the situation hadn't improved. Cassie was still covered in ticks, prompting Dan to arrange a vet visit. Emotionally and physically drained, he reflected on how what was meant to be a fresh, exciting chapter had already spiraled into something far worse. Was someone watching Dan's van earlier that day? The boot prints and unlocked drawer suggest a boundary had already been crossed. The later attempt to access the van at night, in such an isolated location, raises even more questions. Could he have been followed from the garage stop? Or had he simply parked in the wrong place at the wrong time? What began as a hopeful return to freedom on the open road quickly unraveled into a night of fear, violation, and paranoia. No answers ever surfaced, just boot prints, strange sounds, and a creeping sense that someone, or something, was far too close. Would you have stayed in the van that night, or risked the dark? After spending time testing out car camping setups, the YouTuber known as Wandering Where decided to take a significant step forward, upgrading to a fully equipped Volkswagen T6 camper van.
I'm about 40 minutes away from picking up the Volkswagen T6, and I've got to tell you, I'm super excited. The weather today is blue skies and blazing, and it's predicted this for the whole week. And to have this weather and the use of a fully fledged camper for the week as well is just going to be amazing. I've got an amazing plan where I want to take it and explore with it, but for now I think what I'm going to do is drive over, see the guy, pick up the van, and then I'll meet you guys on the flip side on the road in a VW T6. Now here's the thing with this van, all silliness aside, it is kitted out fully as a Volkswagen camper. As you can see, it's got the beautiful quintessential VW setup with really nice shiny laminate coating on all this woodwork. It looks amazing. It's got a full pop top roof, which I haven't seen yet, and obviously it's got a really nice rocker bed. I do believe this is the actual T6 material. I guess like what comes standard with a T6, some of you guys are going to know a little bit better than me. In the front is also very nice in terms of the seating and the material that's used here. I do love it, and he's had the VW stitched in, really nice. And because this is sort of a custom built VW setup in here, it's got some nice little extra features which, you know, sort of plug sockets down the way. It's got a massive box in the back here for storage, and then even down here there's like, you haven't got the normal side door, but you've got an extra one down here and access to this area from the side instead. Now obviously I've only had like a quick 5-minute look around this van as I'm going through it with Robert. But hopefully over the next 4 or 5 days that I'm going to be using it, we're going to get to know this van really well.
With sunny skies and a full week of good weather ahead, he picked up the custom-built vehicle, which featured a pop-top roof, a rocker bed, elegant cabinetry, and clever storage solutions. Excited for the journey ahead, he planned to explore a scenic part of the English countryside and put the new setup to the test. His chosen destination was a woodland area called Banktop, just outside Stone, England. The location had earned glowing reviews on travel apps, praised for its peaceful atmosphere and natural charm. As he arrived, birds chirped in the background and bluebells lined the forest edge, a promising beginning, despite the area being more remote than he typically preferred.
I'm not entirely sure about this place. I'm going to show you something now, and I'm warning you, some of you won't want to see it. It's a little bit adult. We just found something. As the Blues Brothers would say, one use prophylactic. That's disgusting. I mean, leave your trash, but mate, there's trash and there's trash. I really hope this is not the local dogging spot. I really do. We've got another van up the way. These parts sideways, I'll pretty much assume they're there for the night. Fingers crossed. Oh, mate, there's nothing in the reviews about it. It's supposed to be a fantastic little spot for the night. No bother. About 5 or 6 reviews, all 5 stars. None of them mention the use prophylactic on the side. Gutted. Oh. Get the kettle on. Think about something else.
Not long after settling in, however, troubling signs began to emerge. During a short walk, he noticed something left discarded near the parking area, a used item strongly suggesting inappropriate or after-hours activity. Nearby, another van was parked sideways in an unusual position, drawing more suspicion. Although nothing was explicitly wrong, the early signs hinted that this seemingly quiet forest might attract a different kind of crowd once the sun set. By nightfall, that suspicion deepened.
Well, dinner's done and the belly's full. I've got to tell you, I'm actually starting to wonder whether I'd read the right reviews at the right spot for this place. Seems a bit lively. I've just had a car pull up next to me, sped in, and then reversed up with speed, and then sped off with speed, and then sped out the car park, and there's a constant flow of traffic. You're not going to see anything, and you might not hear it at the minute, but there's a few cars. I mean, I don't know. There's a few voices up the way, male voices, who are only chatting, but it's like 10:15 at night. There's not a lot to do around here, and it's a weekday. I don't really get why this car park's so busy at such a late time of night. At least we got that van next to us.
Sporadic vehicle activity began. Cars pulling into the lot rapidly, reversing aggressively, then speeding away just as fast. The behavior didn't match that of hikers or casual passers-by. Though no one stayed long, the flow of traffic continued well into the night. At around 10:30 p.m., distant conversations could be heard. Primarily male voices, chatting casually yet oddly out of place for a quiet forest during the week. The situation felt increasingly uneasy, especially considering that none of this had been mentioned in any of the online reviews. Hours passed, and by 3 a.m. the tension reached a peak.
There's people walking around in the woods. I can hear women's voices. This is a bit dodgy. I've just got out of the van for a wee. Made a bit of noise, showed a load of light. Now I'm hearing dogs barking everywhere. I can hear women's voices, and I hear a torch, or see a torch in the woods. This is all a bit weird.
After briefly stepping outside for a bathroom break, the YouTuber was startled by barking, one low and aggressive, another high-pitched and agitated. Moments later, female voices echoed from within the trees, shouting at dogs and at each other. Flashlights darted through the underbrush, their movements erratic and disoriented. Something about the tone, timing, and energy of it all felt wrong. These weren't late-night dog walkers. Concerned that any reaction might escalate things, the YouTuber returned to his van, shut off all lights, and remained silent. He never saw anyone come close. No one knocked or approached. But the feeling of unease didn't fade. The woods, once serene, now felt unpredictable and unsafe. Sleep never came that night, only vigilance. Some speculate the site might be an unofficial meeting spot for activities that go undocumented in official reviews. The discarded item, the odd parking behavior, and the late-night conversations all point to something locals might be aware of. But outsiders wouldn't find out until it's too late. There was no clear threat. Nothing overtly sinister happened. Yet the atmosphere shifted into something deeply unsettling. It wasn't fear of what was seen, but of what might have happened had he stepped out again. Could this location's glowing reviews be hiding a darker nighttime reality? This video comes from the Cali Bigfoots team, a group known for their long-term investigations into unexplained activity across remote forests in California. In this latest upload from May 2025, the team returns to a familiar location, a deeply isolated stretch of wilderness they visited for over 16 years. The area is infamous within their circle for a wide range of strange occurrences, including large bipedal tracks, unidentifiable vocalizations, and even reports of missing time.
I'm gonna leave this right here. We're good. Look at, hey.
Dude, it's so flat. I don't know if it was this flat the last time.
Why is it all like somebody cut it? Yeah, somebody came in and cut it. Clear. So every time we come up here, we have the microphones on and we have earphones throughout the night, and we always hear something messing around the campsite with the dishes, moving stuff on the tables. We look outside of the windows, we don't see anything. We usually have the flare pointed outward, but you know what? Let's have it pointed towards the campsite this time and see if maybe if we start hearing it, we could see whatever it is. So I got a ghillie suit here, and I am going to camouflage the tripod as much as I can. And later on tonight, I'll come out and adjust it a little bit more, but there we go.
They begin by scouting the forest during the day, noting areas where the underbrush appears unnaturally cleared. One section is especially flat, too flat. The team remarks that it almost looks like someone cut it clean, either with tools or deliberately as a setup. In another part of the forest, they discover what looks like a lean-to or possible makeshift shelter constructed from heavy branches and foliage. Suspended between two trees is something even stranger, a braided string, tied carefully and left hanging. An unexplained, human-like touch in an otherwise untouched forest.
Let's go that way. That.
Pretty deep.
Oh man, those are huge. What do you think? That's what I was looking at back there. Looks like a footprint to me. Going up or going down?
There's another deep one over here.
Looks down. Yeah, exactly. No reason for that.
Is that a foot?
Yeah.
Right there. The toes.
Heel. The toes up here. Oh yeah. Heel. Toes right there?
Yep. Shit. It looks like them. Looks like toes at the top.
Yes, I sure see that. Kid having fun. Fun time climbing that back up. Whoa! That's a hole there.
They examine the ground and find multiple impressions, some shallow, some deeper. One in particular appears to show toes, and its size and depth suggests something heavy and bipedal made it. While it's not perfect, the resemblance to a large footprint is hard to ignore. That evening, they set out fruit as an offering and camouflage a thermal camera within a ghillie suit, pointing it back toward the camp, a reversal of their usual setup, hoping this time they catch what's been circling them during past visits.
I was noticing it.
I believe
Oh.
Try to look for eye shine. That'll work too. That'll work too. I'll turn mine off.
Can't see where I'm walking, so I gotta. It looks like logs. Frogs are loud.
Hey Christian,
Yeah.
you might need to throw another piece of bark down there to shut the frogs up again. I told Christian he needs to throw another stick at the frogs.
That's what we did last time, huh?
Shit.
As night falls, faint footsteps are picked up by their high-sensitivity mics. Slow, intentional, and consistent. The sounds circle the camp, pausing at times, then resuming. By 4 a.m., birds begin to sing. But the walking doesn't stop until well after dawn. Then, at around 7 a.m., a strange silence takes hold. In the morning, they find a compressed area near their gear, an impression in the earth, as if something had sat or crouched quietly, watching. No signs of aggression, no theft, just presence. Despite the absence of visual proof, the team is convinced something was out there. The pacing of the footfalls, the exactness of their perimeter, and the timing of the forest going silent all suggest intelligent behavior, possibly observation. Could it be Bigfoot? Maybe. But even if not, something was clearly moving on two legs, avoiding detection and showing curiosity or caution. They've explored this forest for over a decade. They've heard noises, found structures, and now, recorded hours of footsteps they couldn't explain. So the question is, what kind of creature moves around a campsite in the dead of night, but never wants to be seen? Let us know what you think. Uploaded on May 11, 2025, this chilling solo exploration comes from Dawson Toller, who set out to investigate Elk Mount, a long-abandoned Appalachian town hidden within the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. Once a bustling resort and logging community, Elk Mount was systematically emptied throughout the 20th century. Federal land acquisitions forced residents to make an impossible choice: accept full payment and vacate immediately, or remain under heavily restricted rights until death. By 2017, nearly all structures were gone, with only 19 of the original 70 homes left standing. Tragedy shaped the town's history. In 1909, a fatal train derailment claimed the lives of both the engineer and conductor, casting a long shadow over Elk Mount. Years later, the opulent Wonderland Hotel opened, luring wealthy visitors. But in 1925, the railroad was quietly dismantled by the local lumber company, cutting the town off from outside access. It survived only thanks to the influence of a state governor with a personal retreat nearby who ordered a permanent road built in. Dawson began his exploration in daylight, navigating the deteriorating remains of historic cabins, some dating as far back as the early 1800s. At a nearby cemetery, he discovered graves marked as recently as 2022. An odd sight in a location officially considered uninhabited. On some headstones, small offerings had been placed, hinting at ongoing spiritual reverence. As night settled over the woods, the tone of the visit shifted. With little more than a voice recorder and REM pod, Dawson focused his efforts on the oldest standing buildings. He announced his intentions clearly, addressing any potential spirits directly and respectfully, including a nod to a legendary local known as Uncle Lem, the last original resident who passed in 1984. Inside one cabin, he conducted an EVP session, asking questions about life in the town, the nature of their departure, and whether his presence was unwelcome. While most of the night was uneventful, there were subtle, unexplained moments. Faint shifting sounds outside, possible footsteps, or the rustling of branches, enough to raise his alertness, especially given the possibility of encountering wildlife. But one moment stood out. During a playback of his EVP session, Dawson detected what he believed to be a faint response to one of his questions.
You want me to light this fireplace to make you nice and warm? Do you know who broke those windows that's behind me? Did you sell your home for full price, or did you wait and die on this property? Thought I heard yes.
Did you sell your home for full price, or did you wait and die on this property?
A whisper, barely audible, following a prompt about lighting a fire for warmth. He enhanced the audio as much as possible, careful to acknowledge it could be an auditory illusion. Still, the moment lingered. No objects moved, no doors slammed. But that whisper, if real, was enough to change the mood entirely. By the end of his visit, Dawson thanked any spirits that might have been present, reiterating that his purpose was not sensationalism, but respect. His closing message to viewers echoed that tone, asking if they had felt the same unease he did during his time in Elk Mount. Could the whisper have been a coincidence, an echo, or environmental noise? Or was it something more? A lingering voice from a town that never truly let go of its past. The grave offerings, the preserved homes, and the cemetery's recent dates all hint at a connection between the living and the dead that still pulses through Elk Mount. Was the faint voice merely wishful thinking? Or a spirit answering after all these years? Elk Mount may be empty, but perhaps, like the tracks once torn from the ground, some things were never truly removed. In a rare shift from their typically upbeat outdoor adventures, Mike and Gina, creators of the Nowhere Bound YouTube channel, embarked on a more unsettling journey. This time, their destination was the Silver Run Tunnel, a location tucked deep within the hills of West Virginia and officially recognized for its haunted reputation. Although they aren't paranormal investigators by nature, curiosity pulled them toward this infamous tunnel along the North Bend Rail Trail. Bringing along a mix of tech and intuition, they hoped to uncover evidence, or at the very least, experience something that might suggest the stories were true. Mike came prepared with an audio recorder and an EMF meter, tools often used to detect environmental anomalies. Gina, meanwhile, leaned into her personal sensitivity to unexplained energies, a side of herself she rarely discussed publicly. She wore crystal jewelry with the belief that it might resonate with any lingering presence, and they brought their dog Juniper, known for her heightened awareness and reactions to subtle cues.
Wow, that is certainly dramatic. Just seeing that hole in the side of the mountain like that. It's like black.
So this is certainly not anything that I do on a regular basis, but I did ask that we're protected from anything that might be bad, and that if anyone wants to come forward and contact me, that they can do that, and it's okay if they do.
You talked about the jewelry you're wearing today, that bracelet.
Yeah, so if there is a female presence, I thought maybe it's just just crystals, but I thought maybe if she saw something pretty on my wrist, maybe that would be one way to get her to come forward and make contact.
Actually, it looks very spooky from where we're standing right now.
And you're very skeptical about
I am. I'm kind of skeptical about spirits and ghosts, but that doesn't mean if I see evidence of something, I will certainly accept whatever evidence there is. I don't have my mind made up one way or the other. So we'll just go in there and see what happens.
As they approached the tunnel's entrance, a gaping void cut directly into the hillside. The mood shifted. Though the couple remained grounded and skeptical, they proceeded with caution and respect. The legend tied to this tunnel tells of a young woman who died in the early 1900s.
The legend states that a young woman was killed near the tunnel in the early 1900s. It isn't clear whether the woman was thrown from the train and murdered, or maybe she killed herself. Engineers operating the Baltimore and Ohio tracks regularly reported seeing the woman on the tracks and hearing her moans.
Some accounts suggest she was pushed from a moving train. Others believe she jumped of her own will. Either way, railroad workers for generations have claimed to witness her apparition standing on the tracks, or to hear cries echoing through the darkness. Inside, the couple ran a series of readings, walking through the tunnel walls and calling gently into the shadows. There were no EMF fluctuations. The dog showed no signs of discomfort. Still, Gina pressed on, asking quiet, reflective questions intended to draw out a response. Anything to break the stillness. Suddenly, both of them paused.
Is there anyone here? Did you ride on the train? It's safe for you to come closer if you want to say anything.
I wonder if the dog is deterring any activity.
It's possible. The dog is very friendly. You can even pet the dog if you want to.
Or I put it up to the dog. And show her your jewelry too.
Did you jump from the train? I wore some jewelry for you today. I thought you might think it was pretty. You can come look at it. Did you get left at the altar? Are you sad?
Did you hear something?
I heard something.
I did too. The hair on the back of my neck is standing up.
You can come closer. I won't hurt you.
A sound, faint, distant, almost like a voice, echoed down the tunnel. Though brief, it caught their attention. For a moment, they felt as though they weren't alone. The tension built until footsteps and chatter emerged behind them. A group of hikers entered the tunnel, unintentionally breaking the spell of the moment. What might have been an encounter was interrupted. Disappointed but respectful of the timing, Mike and Gina decided to end the session and return to their van. But what came next was far more compelling. At the end of the video, Mike shared audio captured during a previous visit to the tunnel, a clip Gina had recorded but not reviewed until later.
Did you just say something? You can say it again.
Amid the low background noise and natural echoes, a human-like voice can be faintly heard. It's soft, disembodied, and entirely unaccounted for. Neither of them recalled speaking during that part of the session. The voice's message is unclear, but its presence is undeniable. Some viewers speculate that the voice could be a residual imprint, the kind of audio anomaly often cited in paranormal investigations. Others argue it might have been a byproduct of tunnel acoustics, a trick of echo or ambient sound. Yet its timing, tone, and lack of a visible source make it difficult to explain away entirely. Was it the lingering voice of the woman said to haunt Silver Run Tunnel? A call for attention, or something else altogether? The tools detected nothing, but something, or someone, may have still been there, watching quietly from the shadows. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.